possibilities. I don't think anybody can say with certainty they're going to be in their house for the next 25 years. So obviously transfers and default conditions were a key part of the negotiations here. But basically, if you transfer to a new home, if you buy another house and you're still in XL territory, for $100 you can take the subscription with you. And I'm going to not go into some of the detail here because the detail's in the subscription agreement. But to give you an idea, if you sell your house and say you're moving out of the XL territory, the people who buy your house will probably want to buy it. For $100, you or they, you can negotiate that, can transfer that subscription to the new owners because they also will save on their electric bill. There will be a waiting list of people who want to get into the solar garden because once the garden is built, that's it. There will be multiple gardens, but when they're fully subscribed, of course, nobody else can get in there because it only produces so much energy. But there will be a waiting list, and we're certainly going to encourage, all of our UU teams and partners to be very aware of that. But Minnesota Community Solar will be also keeping a list of people who are interested in joining back into the garden at a future date. So again, you can transfer to a waiting list customer. If you're no longer eligible, you move out of XL territory or you move into a place where you no longer have an XL bill, typically, in my case, assisted living, coming soon. Then for $100, again, you can just transfer out of that.
If your FICO score lowered, would that be one of the
No, once you're qualified, I don't think there's any terms. I don't remember seeing any terms in the agreements that said no, they can change their mind. Once you're qualified as a subscriber, you're in. Obviously, if you don't pay your bill, there's no reason anybody would not pay the bill because if you get a $50 bill from XL and you get a $56 credit from or a $56 credit from XL and a $50 bill for the electricity to the solar developer, why wouldn't you pay it? Bob first.
So, if I understand correctly, this is kind of a way to fix your cost of energy, right? Over that 25-year period, or no, does it vary?
It kind of does fix your cost, but obviously it fixes how much credit you're going to get. Now, if you, like me, have a wife with a glass kiln and a hot tub, or you add those things later, you're going to be consuming a lot more electricity than the credit you signed up for.
Okay.
So you're still going to have a bigger electric bill then than the credit would be.
Okay, but it would be a way of fixing a portion of your...
Absolutely. And more
the price
importantly...
of some portion of your consumption of electricity, right?
Yes.
So, and then over time, the cost of energy could increase in value. Right?
Has anybody seen XL rates go down?
Right. So it's likely to increase in value. So the value of the subscription, therefore, when you come to the point of transfer, is going to be
even greater.
Even greater,
the
right.
9% is the base savings. It could, depending on how it sells. Bills for energy go up,
right.
It could be, we've been told,
Right.
up to 14%
Right.
less than Excel.
So where I'm going with this is that there is some value of, the value of the subscription goes up. Can you recoup, can you monetize that value by selling it to somebody else in the transfer process, or how does it work? How does that work?
Theoretically, if you sold your house and you wanted to include it, it could be a negotiating point, but I don't think anybody's addressed that aspect of it. You, as the original subscriber, would be responsible for the $100 transfer fee to the Minnesota Community Solar. Now, what you got out of it in terms of a house transaction for the transfer, I'm not sure that's, I don't
think you want to.
There's not a secondary market in this.
There is no secondary market.
Okay.
And the only eligible person would be the person buying your house or to a waiting list customer. And that's a very limited market.
Right.
Are you ready for questions now, or did you want to?
Well, let me finish a couple of points, except Bill, unless you had a very specific targeted one there.
Can you get to the financial model quickly?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to do that here.
I have to go soon, so. I'm
Okay,
just hoping-
well, let me just say this, the subscription agreement, which I can show you, or you can, we can send you a sample of, has a 25-year example. Now, it's an example based on two key financial aspects. One is how much you're going to save, and two is how fast you think Excel rates are going to increase over time. Historically, it's been about 4% a year. We do not assume that. Minnesota Community Solar does not assume that in their illustrations. They're going to assume about a 2.5% escalator over 25 years. In addition, there's a couple of factors going on here. The solar panels themselves degrade by a small fraction over time, which is one of the reasons why you can actually sign up if your usage works out to say, I qualify for an 8 kilowatt subscription. You can actually sign up for 120% of that, 20% more than that. And what that really means is that, you probably will save even more money, and you actually could theoretically end up, once a year there'll be an adjustment, because as the solar production varies from the projected, and as your usage has varied, there may be an adjustment, there will be an adjustment once a year called a true-up or reconciliation. And theoretically, you could end up with Excel having to owe you money. Which I'm sure they'd apply to your future bills. But at any rate, you get a complete illustration of what it is likely to do based on your qualified subscription. And it's important that they do that because, people with small electric bills, they get the same percentage savings. It'll start out probably at 9 or 10%, and then over time, if Excel rates do go up faster than the projection, you could theoretically end up at like 14% savings on your electric bill, on your electricity consumption based on the subscription. But people with smaller electric usages will save, $3, $4, $5 a month maybe $10 a month. People with larger electric bills could save, twice, 2-3 times that. But there's still a couple of caveats, and I want to get to them very quickly, especially if people have got to leave in a hurry here. One, it's a 25-year subscription, which means that you do have a theoretical liability for 25 years unless you can transfer it. If you want to walk away, let's say I'm still in Excel territory, I just don't want to do it anymore. We have an issue that we're still negotiating with the developer about what a default would cost. And right now, the default would theoretically cost a year of your subscription. So if you subscribe for $30 a month, you would theoretically owe them $360 to walk away from it. In addition, they're trying to impose a minimum period up front that would say that, if you default after 5 years or after 3 years, they want you to be responsible for 3 more years, a 6-year commitment. We're still negotiating that aspect of it. We don't like it, and we're going to push back hard on it. And it was kind of a last-minute thing that they threw at us literally last week. But I don't want to get bogged down in that. It is something that we're going to work on. Most people are not going to have an issue in 6 years. Even if they do, the most likely scenario for most people is I'm moving from one place to another. I want to transfer my subscription. I'm selling my house. The people buying my house want to save money. I'm going to transfer my subscription. Those are the most likely scenarios. But we do want to make sure that you're fully aware of all of that, and it is all clear in the subscription agreement.
When can I sign up?
You can
Can you-
sign up a registration today.
Okay, but if we could get to the slide on the money, do we have to invest, and then we pay them monthly? I
No,
mean,
there's no
There's
investment.
no
Okay.
upfront investment.
So you haven't explained that to us.
Okay, let me see if I can do a little better job than I did. There's no money up front. There's no money at all until the solar garden is built and operational. If you currently have a $50 electric bill, at that point, you're going to pay the developer probably about $50 a month. And in return, you're going to get a credit back from Excel on your electric bill of about $55. That's a total financial aspect on a month-by-month basis. The only long-term financial implications are if you sell, if you transfer, if you
How
default
does
on it.
that credit happen?
When does the credit happen?
On your bill.
On your electric bill.
Yeah, so they're gonna give me a check every month?
No, they put the credits on your Excel bill, so when you get your bill, it should have credits on it, so technically you wouldn't owe anything to Excel unless you didn't sign up for enough of the subscription, you know, that's why
And then
people
what
might,
happens to the excess over when
you owe it to Excel.
Yeah.
No, so say you get credits of like $55, your Excel bill is what?
Let me put it this way. When you get a bill from Excel, there's $50 of electrical usage, and then there's typically another $10 to $15 of taxes, fees, and everything else, right? Okay? It doesn't pay, you don't get a credit on that. You get a credit on the electricity consumption. If you signed up for 100%, then you're probably going to have a credit of $55.
And that's based on your previous year's usage?
Yes, yeah. If you signed up for a smaller amount, you're going to have a smaller credit, you pay Excel the difference.
But
If it exactly matches what your usage is, you're going to pay them for the taxes and fees. You still have to pay a check, and it's actually, typically, it's just a direct debit from a checking account. It may be from a credit card, but that's also one of the things that we're still trying to work out with them. But that'll, go directly to the developer every month. So you're paying the developer every month, but you're paying them less than the credit you're getting back from Excel for the electricity. Now, again, it's not complicated, but most people say, well, that sounds too good to be true. Well, it's because the legislation is aggressively promoting the solar gardens, the community solar gardens, and we have a very small window to move on this for two reasons in our mind. One is there's an investment tax credit situation that expires next year. So the developers are anxious to get these things going and installed so that they can qualify on their end for the investment tax credit, which just makes their finances look a little more attractive. Secondly, and probably most importantly, we're trying to eliminate carbon dioxide generation and doing it now because